Hey, what's up guys, AIO from CarNewba Detailing. Hoping you're all having a wonderful day. Just like always, in front of me today I got a black test panel. We're going to go ahead and try out some all-in-one polishers. Now, I put out a poll just a week ago or so regarding what you guys want to see on this channel, and AIO polishes were the #1 pick. So the first one we're going to start off with is MEGUIARS Paint Reconditioning Cream. Now this is probably going to be one of your most affordable, value-oriented options, especially for the professionals out there who are running through cars left and right. You could probably pick up a gallon of this for around 30 to 40 bucks. Now compare that to HD Speeders, some other AIO polishes on the market which come in 32-ounce bottles for around the same price. You have a pretty good bang for your buck right over here. So let's go jump straight into how the polish reacts when it comes to paint surface, the results that you're able to achieve, and the ease of use, or not ease of use, I guess if you want to call it, regarding this product. Alright, so let's go take a look at our test panel and jump straight in. Alright guys, so here is the test panel we are working with. As you can see, this thing is trash. It was from a former Volvo station wagon in 2005. Probably been in the junkyard for years by now, but we have all sorts of defects on the surface of this panel. I've already clayed it, I've already iron X'd the actual panel as well, but even though it's smooth and contamination free, we're dealing with chemical etchings, bird stains, water stains, swirl marks, deep gouges and marring and scratches. So we got all sorts of stuff that we can go ahead and play around with when it comes to AIO polishes and any other compound polishes and sealants, waxes, coatings that we want to go ahead and mess with in the near future. So this is how the panel looks. We're going to go ahead and tape off a section of the panel, and then we're going to go ahead and start utilizing MEGUIARS Paint Reconditioning Cream. Alright guys, so the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and tape off a 2x2 or 3x3 section. You want to keep it a shoebox size, and a good way to go ahead and measure this out is grab your pad and go ahead and just 1, 2, 3, and go ahead, maybe use a dry erase marker if you like. I'm just going to do a rough estimate right now, but the reason you want to do this, especially when you're polishing a vehicle, whether especially in the finishing stage I should say, you want to keep your section small so you can control your residue and give you a better finish and also better cutting ability even throughout your compounding stage, right? So we want to give all these polishes an even shot, so we want to keep stuff consistent, alright? So about 1, 2, 3 is about the size of the box lengthwise, and then 1, 2, 3 about height-wise. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and tape that off real quick. Alright guys, so some things to note about MEGUIARS Reconditioning Cream. It's a pretty thick substance. It's not very liquidy. It's very viscous, so it's kind of difficult to go ahead and shake it up or apply more into your bottle. That's something to take note of. But it also reduces sling when you go ahead and apply it to your pad. Another thing, it's DA and also rotary polisher friendly. You could also apply this by hand as well. I don't recommend it. It's going to take you forever, and you're probably going to have arthritis at the end of the day. But we're going to go ahead and use our little Harbor Freight DA in this case. I know a lot of you guys have this type of polisher, or maybe the one from Griot's Garage as well. Real neat, handy polishers. All you got to do is apply a few drops to your pad, pea-sized drops. Just like that. After that, guys, I always like priming my pad. I use distilled water. Some guys like using Quick Detailer or something of that nature. You can as well. ONR is a great option too, but I prefer to use distilled water. I just find it a little bit less intruding on the polishing process.
Before we go ahead and start polishing, I'm going to go ahead and prep the surface with a bit of Paint Prep IPA solution. This is also a great example of the lack of any type of water beading or water sheeting on the surface. As you can see, when the IPA is applied to the surface, it's completely flat, and you have the same reaction using your standard garden hose or pressure washer. There's absolutely no hydrophobic effect on the surface of this panel currently. Alright guys, so after a paint prep solution, we're going to go ahead and start the polishing process. Again, I'm using the microfiber cutting pad from Buff & Shine. Really enjoy utilizing these pads the past few weeks. Also the Harbor Freight dual action polisher. I know a lot of you guys have these polishers in your garage and like utilizing them as well, so that's what I'm going to be testing out this product with. Besides that, guys, one benefit with Paint Reconditioning Cream from MEGUIARS is that it is more of a thick, viscous solution, so there isn't that much sling when utilizing the product, so you don't really have to worry about that when you're on the go or trying to go through a vehicle really quickly. Another thing about the product that's a downside is that it doesn't have the greatest working time. I recommend about 3 to 4 pass-throughs with the product. After that, you start running into issues with its working time. One way to avoid this is go ahead and spray some quick detailer onto the pad or onto the surface that you're working on, or maybe just a little bit of water as well. This helps with the working time slightly, gives you some lubrication to go ahead and loosen up those abrasives in your pad to keep working them throughout the panel. Besides that, guys, the wipe on and wipe off is pretty simple as well. Again, I did around 5 to 6 pass-throughs in this scenario just to test the limits of the actual product. And I did start running into some issues with working time, like I said, but wiping off the solution wasn't that bad. But you do have to take in consideration I'm inside and not in the sun as well.
Alright guys, so we're taking a closer look at the panel, and as you can see, we're going to take a look at those swirl marks and see what type of defect removal we were able to get. And this is totally what I expected, guys, about 40 to 50% defect removal. This, like I said, this panel is completely trashed, okay? I wouldn't expect an all-in-one type of polish or compound to go ahead and get any more defect removal than what this has right over here. Generally speaking, the reconditioning cream is a bit heavier in cut compared to some other solutions out there. But like always, every solution reacts differently to every single type of paint or panel. So obviously we're going to be doing more testing in the future with other types of AIOs and see what other defect removal we're able to get. But like I said, that was one pass through of 5 or 6 passes, and this is the type of defect removal we were able to achieve. A lot of the stuff that you see on the panel right now, it's a lot of marring, chips, divots, things like that from a lot of highway driving, chemical etching, and also just a lot of deep gouges, as you can see right over there, all right? All right, guys, the first pad we utilized, like I said, was a microfiber cutting pad, the Eurofiber from Buff & Shine. The next thing we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to use this more so as a finishing or as a jeweling all-in-one polish. You can utilize it pretty much for anything. If you want more of a cut from your AIO, you can go ahead and get a heavier cut pad like this microfiber or wool pad, or you can go ahead and get a medium cut or a softer cut pad such as the Eurotech foam pad from Buff & Shine as well. This is more tailored toward long throw polishes, not something as the Harbor Freight DA, but you can utilize it on that as well. This would be great for any type of 15mm throw polishes. They also have a 6-inch as well that you can utilize for your 21mm too, or force rotation polishers as well. So let's jump straight into using the softer cut foam pad.
Alright guys, so same thing with the foam pad, a few drops of the solution. I'm going to go ahead and work it in at around 5 to 6 pass-throughs. Again guys, my biggest issue with this product is its working time. It cuts well, it finishes well on a panel that's not completely trashed like this one. Trust me, I've used it in the past and it gives you some pretty good results. It's just the working time. Now to go ahead and try to fix or modify that, you can go ahead and prime your pad with some excess solution, meaning you go ahead and fill in the pores of your foam or your microfiber with some extra solution and put some more pea-sized drops of the solution after that. Or you can use some water, a quick detail like I do in this scenario, to go ahead and give it a little bit more lubrication as well. Alright guys, time to take a look at the final results with the foam pad. We were able to remove a lot of those swirl marks that we saw before. Did restore a bit of gloss and shine, but again guys, you can only do so much on a panel this bad with an all-in-one polish. So please take that in consideration as well. But overall, we were able to remove about 40 to 50% of the defects that we were looking at off of the panel that we worked on.
Alright guys, so we got the panel laying on the wall over here. We're going to go ahead and do some different settings with our hose. First thing we're going to do is going to go ahead and mist on the water a little bit onto the surface and see what goes on. Alright guys, so obviously you can see there was some type of protection put onto the surface right there. With a lot of all-in-one types of polishes, you're going to go ahead and see a lot more of a water sheeting effect than a water beading effect. As you can see, there's a lot less water on the surface that we worked on compared to everything else around the hood. But let's go ahead and change up the setting as well. Let's do more of kind of like a flat. Same thing guys, the water sheets off more than beads off the surface, something that you see with a lot of AIO polishes. We're going to go ahead and do our final setting, which is the shower setting.
So yes, guys, the all-in-one does add some protection onto the surface. Is it a lot of protection? What is it going to protect it from? You know, that's kind of up in the air. I would say, you know, you get your minor protection from the UV rays and things of that nature, but something like an AIO polish like MEGUIARS reconditioning cream, we want to go ahead and follow it up with another type of protection. But again, guys, it all depends on what the budget is that you're working with. If it's your vehicle, awesome, go ahead and do what you want to do. But if it's a customer, you're only working with a certain amount of money in their budget, you can only do so much for the customer, all right? All right, guys, so my final thoughts on MEGUIARS Paint Reconditioning Cream, otherwise known as D151 is the code name. You can go ahead and buy it off Amazon, eBay, directly from MEGUIARS as well. Again, comes in around 30 to 40 bucks for the gallon. Not expensive at all, especially comparing to other polishes out there such as Playmaker, HD Speed, or Griot's Garage. Those AIO polishes come at the same price for a 32-ounce bottle, so you got a lot of bang for your buck right over here. But again, guys, this product all depends on what you're looking for. This is more tailored towards guys that are in body shops, dealership lots, things like that, guys who are looking for something that's value oriented to go ahead and pop out cars left and right. This is more so of a paint enhancement, not necessarily a paint correction. Yes, you can cut a little bit with it and things of that nature, but you can only get so many defects off of a painted surface with a product such as this, around 50 to 60%, I would say. I recommend, if you are going to use something like this, 3 to 4 pass-throughs. I did around 5 to 6 to go ahead and test the limits of the actual product itself, but 3 to 4 pass-throughs is more than enough to get you some cut on the surface, remove some minor defects and swirl marks, but also go ahead and apply some type of protection on the surface as well. Again, guys, some downsides to the product: doesn't have the best working time, but you can go ahead and use some water or quick detailer to go ahead and restore that working time and give some lubrication to abrasives in the product itself. Besides that, guys, I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a thumbs up. Also, remember to subscribe as well, and follow me on Instagram and Facebook as well, guys. The more support that you give me, the more that this channel will grow and the more content I can push out to you as well. Thank you again for watching, and like always, have a wonderful rest of the day.